Boom. We're live now. We're live. I was talking to myself for a second. I'm gonna wait for people to pop in here. Um, let's see. Uh, I guess we were not live yet, but now we are live. And I just sent the text out. Let's see. Eighth Life, what's going on? Frizzy Astro, what's up? I see people are starting to pop in here. I'm gonna wait for a second or two, or not a second, maybe probably wait for a minute or two before we get today's session going. If you're just now joining, make sure you type in the comments to let me know what platform you're on. Cloud9, what's going on? I see you popping in from Twitch. Eighth Life, I see you on Twitch. I think I sent the text out, or it's gonna go out soon. So hopefully we can get some more people in the session. Today is going to be a little different. I'll explain in a little bit once we get a few more people in. But hopefully everybody has gotten a great start to their week. Remedy Born, what's going on? I see you popping in here from Twitch. I'm gonna wait. Actually, I don't think the text has been sent out yet. Let me see. It should have gone out. I didn't get it. But people are starting to pop in. BB Baby Daddy Music, maybe. I see you popping in from YouTube. That's hilarious. I see more people are starting to pop in. So today, David DeFino, he's on Facebook. What's going on? So I'm gonna go ahead and put the link to this stream in the chat. So this is gonna be the link. If you guys have a question or want to come on camera and join me, or maybe you have a response to a question. So this session is gonna be a little different. I got to apologize in advance because I messed up my schedule and didn't communicate appropriately. I got so much stuff going on. So I had DJ Z, the founder of DJ Booth, co-founder of Audio Mac, joining me today. But I didn't actually send him the meeting invite when I spoke to him probably about 2 months ago. So because I didn't send him the meeting invite, it wasn't on his calendar. So when I circled back with him today, he already had gotten too busy. So we had to reschedule that. So because I don't have a guest today, you guys have the opportunity to be the guest on the show. And actually, when we used to do this show off of the BeatStars platform, we used to do this more regularly. And actually, we were in Zoom and we would have people come on and just ask the question. There wouldn't be a topic for today. You guys would come in and talk about whatever's on your mind, or if you had a question, and it could be about beats, it could be about publishing, it could be about merch. Hopefully I have some opinions for you, but we can also get some feedback and suggestions from the community as well. So I'm going to post the link one more time. And if you guys have questions or comments, feel free to click that link and I can bring you on screen here in live stream. I want to let you know that we dropped another episode of the MEC podcast today. Our podcast drops every Monday on DJ Payne's YouTube channel, but it's also available on Apple, Spotify, wherever you enjoy your podcast. You can get the MEC podcast. So one of the things that we talked about last week, The Atlantic dropped an article about how older music is dominating newer music. It's just being more consumed more. So we talked about the reasons that we thought that is. It's pretty interesting, but makes a lot of sense when you think about it, that old music is dominating new music. So, what does that look like for you guys as you guys are creating new music, promoting new music, marketing new music? How does that change your strategy, if at all? And so it's just good to understand like what's happening in the music industry, how things are evolving, so that you can possibly tailor your strategy or approach to continue to build your business. So check out that article if you get a chance. Again, it was from The Atlantic. You probably just Google it and then watch the podcast as well. So you can watch the podcast on DJ Payne One's YouTube channel if you want to watch the actual video. Or if you just want the audio version, it's available wherever you consume podcasts. So I don't see anybody popping in just yet, but I see more people popping into the session. So it's Brand DJ. What's going on? I see you on Twitch. Tiger Backwood BeatStars. I see you popping in on Twitch. Today, you guys are the guests, so I don't really have a topic. I mean, I can talk about a number of different things, but I want to address, some of your guys' concerns, whether you want to talk about music marketing, whether you want to talk about placements, when you talk about branding. So I'm gonna, or if you're not comfortable coming on camera, I can try to keep my eye on the comments to see if there's some questions and we can address them there. That's also an option, not my preferable option. I prefer to kind of see you and speak to you just in case there's some back and forth that's required. So I'm gonna post the link again. I see Cloud9 has popped in here. Hold on, let me say what's up to him.
Yo, dang.
Cloud9, what's up with you?
Man, I'm chilling, man. Just chilling. That discussion you had, what that statement you said earlier with the music, about old music being streamed more. I kind of see that. I've been seeing that for a long time now, but that article kind of confirmed it. And I do plan on watching the podcast where y'all was talking about it too. I just been wrapped up in so much stuff these last couple of days. But
Good.
yeah. But I can honestly say, man, from a production standpoint, I don't know how many producers pay attention to this, but I do, and it's basically like just the art of music and the art of production. And one thing I can say is that a lot of times, whether it be like TV, sync, or just producing, that nostalgia level of production that you might put every now and then in there, it plays a part. Because I've had artists that hit me up when they ask for like custom work, they bringing up like Janet Jackson, Mariah Carey. Like no one's bringing up like a lot of these new school artists unless, and is even and from a standpoint, you might say that, okay, where it's it might be an older crowd that want these beats. These are like young people. Excuse me, like, yeah, these are younger people that's reaching out, and it's not just from the United States. I've had people from Asia reach out to me, like maybe in their 20s, early 30s, asking for Mariah Carey, Usher, like.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's interesting that that's happening, and for a long time that's been a theory, because a lot of my I make sure my beats. One of my things is I make sure I add a lot of nostalgia, no matter what type of genre of beats I'm doing. I have like different ear candy things I do, and I noticed that helps me stand out a lot. But it was funny because a lot of times, not from all of my peers, but some people may laugh and be like, "Man, you making 2000 era beats, or you making like beats from like the 80s," and you'll be surprised by how that stands out on a production level. Because everyone's making like these trap soul Bryson Tiller beats, which are like these trap soul elements of the past, but it's not an actual 90s R&B track. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's very interesting, even for hip hop. I've had people from Germany and Russia reach out to me asking about 50 Cent type beats, like Dr. Dre, Eminem, even NWA. So it's interesting, man.
Yeah, well, it makes a lot of sense when you think about streaming, right? And we talked about this on the podcast, just the level of access it has given young people, right? When I was younger and I wanted, if my dad liked the Temptations or the OJs or whoever, I probably wouldn't have dove into it because I would need the actual record to listen more, outside of when he played it in the car and things like that. But now that, young people have access to pretty much every song that ever existed, for $10 a month, they can dive into these older catalogs and really start to become fans of older music. So it makes a lot of, there's a variety of factors. Another one being, because there's so much music that comes out these days, the album cycles and the promotion cycles for a single or for an album is much shorter, right? So that's less time for it to really stick to your ribs. Like it's less time. So a lot of people want to go straight to saying, oh, the music is less quality. And, don't get me wrong, because there's a billion songs being released, there's going to be a lot of songs that aren't quality. But I would put the best songs of today up against, the year up against music from years prior. I think the best music that's being produced today is just as good as music that's been produced in prior decades, but we think music is lower quality today because we are bombarded with so much music, and a lot of that music is not quality. But I think that music today is going to stick less because we have shorter promotion cycles, because labels are just on to the next one. Or even
Right.
independent artists, independent artists, they're dropping a song a week, or
Yeah.
a song a day or whatever. So it's less time for this music to like really stick to your ribs, because it's a lot more about quantity these days. So I think it makes a lot of sense that older music is dominating newer music.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some young people are really just jumping into older music and older shows too, because they
Right.
have the Netflix, they have older shows that, a lot of people are watching as well. So I think it's important as a producer to recognize that, that they want to put some more, maybe an older feel, or mesh, the timelines, right? Try
Right.
to mesh what's happening now with a little bit of what's happened before, or maybe sample more, maybe sample some of the older stuff, because it is, still having an impact. So is it impacting your art in any other way, knowing
Um,
this?
well, as far as like, I've always been like kind of like a producer that kind of takes elements from the past and put it into the now. That's just always been part of my production. Um, I do see that for me personally. I've had people tell me I stick out on BeatStars, like really stick out because a lot of my catalog is very it makes them feel like it makes them feel a certain way from when they was growing up listening to music. I've had
Mhm.
artists tell me that. And
Right.
even if you listen to what's out right now, like if no matter what style of production you do, if you listen to what's on the billboard or whatever, they're always taking like older elements. Like Dua Lipa, The Weeknd, they some of the top albums, Olivia Rodrigo, as far as pop goes, all three of those albums have elements from early 2000s, 80s, and 90s. And I think the problem, I ain't gonna say the problem, but one of the things is when people listen to that music, it makes them feel something. When you listen to like the last three Weekend albums, it's this type of 80s synthwave feel, and people love that because maybe there's not a lot of people making that. I mean, there's instrumentalists making that stuff, but not on the level where they're making actual songs that really feels like that. There's a reason
Right.
why Blinding Lights has been going so strong. It's not, it's the Weekend and he's with a label, but that feeling in those elements. So
Yeah.
I think I
There,
think it's cool in my opinion. Yeah.
there was a thread, I think DJ Booth retweeted it, or Z retweeted it, about a songwriter and his approach to songwriting, and why he's been able to make hits over the decades. There's kind of a formula to it sometimes. And I think people that have been songwriting and kind of understand, you know, just kind of the placement of things, how the chorus should feel, intros, what the intros should do. If people want to find that thread, if you're a songwriter or into songwriting, I believe Z from DJ Booth retweeted it. I didn't retweet it from my page, but if you go to Z's Twitter, which I think is just DJ Booth EIC, which stands for Editor in Chief. If you go to his Twitter, I think he retweeted it a few days ago. So I think we got another guy here. I'm gonna Vovan. I'm gonna add him to. You can stick around if you want. Let's see what let's see what I'm gonna add Vovan to the stream as well.
That's cool.
Vovan, what's up, man? Is that how you pronounce it? We can't hear you. You gotta fix you gotta turn your mic on. You might be muted. Yeah, you might want to check your mic. And just to give people a heads up, today my guest is you. So if you have a question, or a concern, maybe it's something you're working on, or maybe something you want to work on, you just click the link that I put in the comment section, and you'll be able to join us. And I'll be able to bring you live, so you can ask your question. I think Bufo asked a question in the comments. I'm gonna address that in a second. If we can't get Vovan's mic to work. Um, I'll leave you on until you can. Yeah, you can't hear him either, right, Cloud9?
Yeah, I could hear you. I could hear you.
No, him. You can't hear him,
I
right?
can't hear. No, I can't hear
Okay.
him.
All right, just making sure it's not me. So why maybe try testing your mic. There's a a mic that you hopefully you see it in the top right corner. I'm on a computer. It looks like you're on a phone. So I'm gonna remove you from the stream, but you can still test your mic. You can still test your mic, and then when it works, I'll bring you back in. Cool. Bufo said, he says, Dame, are you fully sold on NFTs yet? I get that some have utility, but ultimately, isn't it mainly just a bubble that's going to burst eventually, especially if when we enter a real crypto bear market? How are you feeling about the whole topic? So I've never been completely sold on the hype of NFTs, right? I think that there's just way too much hype. Anytime I see too much hype around anything, I just like to take a step back and just see how people are moving and see what's happening in the space. And I think they're definitely being overhyped. However, that doesn't. The fact is, there are artists that are winning right now. Artists that have stepped into the space early, and artists that have onboarded their fans, or artists that have been accepted by the existing kind of crypto community. So I think that if you get in early, have a plan, have a strategy, I think it makes sense. I think over the long haul, only people that are going to be successful in NFTs are those that know how to build community, know how to communicate and engage with their fans, and build some kind of unique experiences through NFTs. So I don't, if you're looking at it as a cash grab or anything like that, I think that's short-minded. But I think the utility of NFTs in terms of what they can do to help you create unique experiences, you can have NFTs that unlock certain access behind the scenes chats, things like that, that if you're able to if you have a strong community, I think it can be really cool. Like if I was still running a label, I definitely would be looking into, what kind of experiences can we create using NFTs to make it more interesting, a more interesting fan experience. I'm not sold on NFTs. I believe they're here to stay. I just think they're being overhyped right now. And just imagine a year from now, 2 years from now. Right now, the supply already outweighs the demand. But just imagine when the 70,000 songs that get uploaded to Spotify are now also NFTs. Like, who's gonna be buying those? Like, people aren't listening to all of the music that's on Spotify. So as more and more people mint NFTs, it's going to get a lot harder to sell them because there's just not going to be a market for them. So that's my personal opinion. But I see some cool things happening, and I think it's something that people should be looking into and tuning into our sessions, because we've had several people come on to talk about different, NFT strategies, platforms, things like that. We just had EQ on, Janice Taylor from EQ on. We had her on a couple weeks ago, or just last week. Wait, was it? I don't know, a week or two ago. So yeah, that's how I feel about NFTs. Anytime something gets overhyped, I just want to take a step back, do my research, talk to people, and figure out what's really going on. Because I think if you just run into the space, there's probably a lot of people that are scamming already, just taking advantage of this, this hype and enthusiasm. So you really need to know what you're doing. That's all. That's my standpoint. So I think Vovon left. He wasn't able to make it work. But I see we have Shane up in here. Shane, I'm gonna add you. Let me take down this question though. Boom. So today, if you just popped in here, I just want to let you know today you are the guest. We are talking about whatever you want to talk about. So if you have a question, I would prefer if you came on camera. I'm going to put the link in here one more time. But if I see your question in the chat and it looks interesting, we'll try to address it just from the chat. So you might be in a situation where you can't come on camera, you're on the job or whatever. So I put the link in the comments once again. So just click that and you should be able to pop in here and I'll bring you live, after the last question. Shane, what's up, man?
What's going on, Coach Dame? How are you guys? What up, Marl? Good to see you, fam.
I know you wanted to come in here. You have a new service, a platform that you're launching, and you wanted to talk briefly about it. So feel free.
Absolutely, and thank you for giving me a couple of minutes here. I didn't see too many people jumping in, so I figured I'd just go ahead and jump in now. But Hey, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, I run a company called LibMGMT, and I am a longtime member of the MEC going back to like 2016. And I still never miss. It's super important for all of you guys to be here each week. Dame is allowing me the opportunity to explain to you guys a new artist development program we're launching called Proof. And essentially, we're gathering proof of concept data for our application that we're building that is going to allow you guys to manage yourselves in the form of a video game. We're going to be operating this out of Discord. Essentially, you'll get paired one-on-one with an intern. We just onboarded 6 new interns. And each week, we're going to be doing a workshop that will come with a worksheet, help you guys build everything out in the form of artist branding, your identity, registering with a PRO, figuring out how to collect publishing, all of those little things. We're going to do them one at a time in going through each week. And then we're also going to be bringing in guest speakers to discuss with you guys either a different topic or do a worksheet or activity they've designed themselves. And we will also have direct access to curators and bloggers that will be in the Discord as well to give you guys priority. And we've already locked in curators from Swid Life, Early Rising, Fashionably Early, Trending Raps. We've got a whole lot more. And there's just going to be a lot of different opportunities. Our entire goal is to help you guys build out every aspect of a successful career within 3 to 6 months. And then you can continue to utilize those things to keep on growing. So that is short, quick pitch. I'm sorry. I was just going to say applications are open through the end of the week. And I'm going to go ahead and drop that in the chat for you guys. And this is also a totally free program. So the only thing we're asking in exchange is that you provide us with your data sources and allow us to use your data as needed.
I was going to ask you what it costs, but you guys are doing this for free?
Yes. Essentially, we're trying to take this data back to VCs and be able to say, here, this concept does work. Here's the growth metrics that we were able to institute for these artists. And we've already locked in a few artists that I handpicked that I know are capable of growing substantially. And those artists are already, even prior to the program, seeing more success very quickly.
So what are you looking for in an application? How can an application stand out?
We're looking for artists that, number one, pitch yourselves. Like, we left a section, you have an opportunity to really tell us about who you are, understanding who you are as an artist. I think that's really important for authenticity and being able to communicate that with your fans, being able to build that community out with things to relate to. We're also looking for the people that are willing to put the work in. So we're not going to be selecting artists that we are constantly texting to join the sessions. Like, you got to show up, you got to do the work. We're calling it a different artist development program because it's not focused around your music or sound. Like, we're not developing you in terms of being a musician. We expect your sound to be up to that par and up to that level. We're helping you develop as a business.
Got you. Somebody asked for your Instagram. You said you were going to put a link here. What is it? I'll type it. What is it?
It's at LibMGMT on everything. So what my name is on screen, and then I'll drop the link directly to the applications. And those are going to be open through the 5th.
Okay. So are you gonna post the link to it?
Yep. I'm grabbing it right now.
Okay. Cool. Sounds dope, man. Keep me posted. Let me know how that goes.
Yep. We'll definitely be asking you to come in and do one of those guest speaker sessions.
Set me up. Nah, this year has been crazy so far, and I'm getting married in April, so I got wedding.
That's on that. So can't wait for that. I do see one person said, "What do you mean by data sources?" So those are going to be things like Spotify for artist access, Apple Music for artist access. We'll be going through your chart metric. I've already talked to one person about actually getting a rep from chart metric to come in and do a session with you guys to explain how that platform works. So it's going to be every type of data source that we can possibly gather.
Got it. Bufo said, "Dane, can we please look into coordinating a live stream producer celebrity boxing event headlined by Payne and KE?" Hilarious. Hilarious. Oh man, I wish I could. That would be hilarious. I've only known about KE through Payne bringing his ridiculousness to the MEC podcast. So I don't know anything about him other than some of his suspect promotional tactics that Payne likes to call out. I would love to see that. If I could make it happen, feel free to reach out to Jake Paul and see if we can line that up. I don't know.
if Bufo's producer career doesn't work out, he's definitely got a future in comedy, Dame.
Yeah, Bufo's hilarious. There was another more serious question up here. Let me see. How do you go about asking artists for features? So my advice about asking artists for features. Number one, no matter what response you get, do not take it personal, because nobody owes anybody a response, and we don't ever know what the other person's inbox looks like, right? Like, there's people have different levels of emails coming in. I get a shitload of emails, and now that we're on a billion different platforms, we get messages on Instagram, we get messages on Twitter, messages on Facebook, LinkedIn. So number one, just never take anything personal if the answer is no, or if you don't get a response. I see, some people getting angry. It might be a hit to your ego because you feel like they should respond because you're so dope, things like that. But it never hurts to just reach out through a DM and introduce yourself. Maybe you have a song. Always think about what you're bringing to the table. So maybe there is a song that you've released that has some traction already, and it would actually be beneficial to this artist to hop on a remix. So maybe that scenario, say, hey, I just released a song. It's starting to really pick up because they started doing a challenge to it on TikTok. I'm thinking about doing a remix. I think you would be great on it because XYZ. Would you consider, being featured on the remix? So I would just I'll reach out, be brief, be respectful, and just think about what leverage, or what value it would be to them. If you're not just paying them, right? Like I'm not a huge fan of just paying people for features. But if you can communicate some level of value in which you think it would make sense for them to hop on the song, that's always the best route to go, in my opinion. So hopefully that's helpful. So again, I know some people that just popped in here. The numbers seem to jump up a little bit. If you just jumped in today, I don't have a guest on the MEC today. You are the guest. So if you have a question or a concern, if you're working on something, you want some feedback from me or the community, all you need to do, let me put the link in here again. Boom. I'm going to put the link. You have to click this link and then join via video is preferable. But if you can't join via video, you could just put your question in the comments and we will try to answer as many as we can for the next 20 or 30 minutes. The reason I don't have a guest is because I messed up, and I just messed up the communication with my guest for today. And I never actually sent him the meeting invite, even though we talked about it 2 months ago. I usually send a meeting invite. I didn't, so it wasn't on his calendar, and then his calendar got full. So let's see. Vovon is back. Let me see if his mic is working.
Now.
Yes, sir. What's going on, man? You made it work.
Nice. That's what's up. What's up? Nice hearing you.
Likewise. Where are you tuning in from?
From Manchester, from UK.
Nice.
Yes. Originally, I'm Russian though, from Latvia, but I'm living in UK, for past 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah, that's some awesome topics, you just you talked about. So yeah, thanks for the advices, especially with the latest one, when you want to approach people for the collab, that's really, really dope, because I'm kind of, I'm a upcoming artist, but I've been doing my music since 2011.
Okay.
I've been doing it like unprofessionally though. I kind of was doing it like King Cooper, was like doing the mixtapes. I just liked the beat. So I downloaded it, and that was it. I just hopped on it back in the days. But everything changed in 2020, 2 years ago. I started to go, in the professional studio and to record it, and after that, one of my songs got like a publishing deal. Not a publishing deal, but the publisher, just approached me and basically said, we want to, publish your song. Avatar, it's called. And from there, they were giving me like a breadcrumbs, of like where to register. So that PRS for music, in UK. I know that you got ASCAP and BMI, and stuff. Right. So I've registered, I started doing all that. I started doing a lot of
Bro,
reading about music.
not to cut you off, man, but is there a question at the end of this, or
Oh
or
yeah. To be honest, yeah, I wanted to ask about because yesterday I even posted on one of your posts about NFTs.
Yep.
You
Okay.
know, is there any like benefit for um like an upcoming artist, when nobody knows like my name, and stuff, and even if I created an NFT, I have to pay certain amount, right, like
Yeah.
200 or something, just to get it out there, just to get it on the market, but I'm not guaranteed that somebody will buy it, or they
Right.
can buy it, a lot less than that,
Right.
so what's
So,
kind of.
yeah. So there are definitely a lot of artists that don't have a lot of traction, like traditional traction, that are doing well in NFTs. But from what I've seen, they've spent a shitload of time in the space, like understanding it, being on Twitter Spaces, being in Discords, getting educated, maybe educating other people. Like again, I haven't necessarily done this myself, but it doesn't appear to be something that you can just jump in and expect to be successful right away. There's a lot of legwork that needs to be done, just in terms of authentically kind of getting acclimated to that community, right? Or if you have an existing fan base outside of the NFT world or crypto world, can you do a great job of educating your existing fan base on what NFTs are, why they should be interested, and can you create an experience that is cool and would entice them to purchase an NFT? So I would actually watch a couple of the sessions that we've had before. So we've had I know we had Jesse Goplin on last year. We've had Janice from EQ. We talked to Tommy, who was the founder of Single Music, which they have a service now that allows you to sell NFTs directly through your Shopify store. So we've had a number of discussions. So I would encourage you to go back and watch maybe some of those discussions. And there's a Twitter space every second of the day. There's probably 50 of them going on right now talking about NFTs. So I would jump into some of those, maybe just kind of be a fly on the wall or ask a question if something, if you do have one. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, a lot of education, but there is a possibility, to get some traction. I know that we're going to have a young lady named Latasha on the MEC podcast, I believe next week. So stay tuned for that, because she's been very successful selling NFTs. And I believe she only has like 5,000 monthly listeners or something like that on Spotify. But in the NFT space, like she's been, selling tens of thousands of dollars worth of NFTs. So hopefully, we get her on. I believe it's next week. It's not this week. So we will record it next week and then it will drop the Monday after. So I think that will be a very educational podcast that we drop.
Right. Thank you for that, Dame. Can I ask another question?
Sure. One more, and then I'll get to some other folks.
That's awesome. Damn. To be honest, that's gonna be the long one, but it's all right. It's all right. We'll get it next time. Yeah, but nice talking to you. Really appreciate it. Thank
Likewise.
you.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks.
Let's see. We got somebody else in here. Let's see. Jake. Jake, what's up, man?
What's up? How you guys doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Good. My question is for when should you register your beats with a PRO if you're uploading them to BeatStars? Like, is it immediately, or is that only if you're going to do streaming service?
I mean, if they aren't available publicly anywhere, I don't know what revenue is going to be collected. So I encourage producers to distribute your beats, like just distribute them to Spotify.
Yeah, I'm putting them up on Spotify. I find it less stressful to upload them one at a time on BeatStars, and then once I have 10 or so, to do EP or album on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
I was just kind of wondering if you go by the release date on BeatStars or the release date for the streaming services.
Probably the release date on the streaming services, because ASCAP, PRO, they're not collecting anything from BeatStars. It's just not a streaming platform. People are just listening on BeatStars to see if they like the beat, to see if they want to lease it or purchase it. So yeah, the date definitely on the streaming service when it goes live to people publicly.
Dame, can I tap in here and offer Jake some advice?
Sure.
Jake, any artist that you're working with your beats, I always recommend to producers that they actually ask the artist or the manager that they're working with to list you as a primary artist on the song as it releases. That way it shows up in your Spotify your Spotify catalog, and you're actually able to grow out your own monthly listener base. So it's a really good way to build out your own fan base and your own listener base and actually increase your value as a producer.
But then I would also say, don't get offended if people push back towards that, because I can see a lot of artists that are not going to want to add the producer as a primary artist.
And always get permission.
Yeah, but obviously it is in a producer's benefit if you can get added as a primary artist, especially if the song does really well, because you want to build out your own profile on Spotify. So, yeah. Impulse asked, is the MEC promo code still valid for Songtrust? I believe it is. I believe the promo code MEC still works on Songtrust. But I'm not allowed to talk about Songtrust because this is BeatStars. So, and BeatStars has a publishing service. But I believe it still works. My bad, Abe. Any other questions, Jake? You good?
No, that's it.
All right, cool, man. Appreciate you popping in.
Yep, thanks.
Indeed. All right, people are starting to pop in now. Okay, we're getting some consistency. Bear, what's going on?
Yo, what's goody, y'all?
Chilling.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Awesome. So I just Dropout Club tapping in. I just had a couple questions. First question is, right now, how it has set up for our fan base. We have simple texting, and then they fill out a form for Google Forms. And so I'm keeping like all of the fans database that way, like on a Google Form doc. But I was wondering if you guys had any better platforms to use, because we're tapping on like 1,000 now. So it's like, right now it's like not going to be organized for like the more people that tap in. So I was wondering if you guys had a different database that you guys use to keep track of all your fans, phone numbers, emails, and all that good stuff.
Well, I'm actually looking for a new text marketing service. I was using Fan Connect, and they're making some changes. It's not a bad platform. I still use it to send out the MEC stuff, but I need something a little bit more. I don't know what I feel like just user friendly, but I would try Fan Connect because it's probably the most cost effective. If you're worried about cost, I know that Community and Superphone is still kind of costly. And I think there's room in the space for another player to come in if they can come in at a cost effective, a lower price point. But try myfanconnect.me. I think they changed the name to FanBucks actually, but I think myfanconnect.me will still get you there. It'll reroute you. And then in terms of emails, I've never had a system that kept emails. I always use my email. I use like Drip. We'll use Drip for our email campaigns. Drip, and we were using MailChimp prior to that. But I've never used a service that had both in one very smoothly. I don't know if you guys have used a service that had both email and phone numbers, but share it if you do, because I'd be interested in or if anybody in the chat has a good text marketing platform that also you use for your email campaigns, I'd definitely like to check that out as well.
Yeah, right now I'm using MailChimp and Fan Connect for all of my clients and stuff like that I have. So I use that to communicate. So that's the two things that I'm using right now. They're, in my personal opinion, both of those are very cost effective. So MailChimp, you can have up to 2,000 emails in your system before even paying anything. It's free for that. And you can send out, I think you can send up to 10,000 emails at a time. Fan Connect, I think, is now called FanBucks. Mm-hmm. So, but it's still pretty good in my opinion. It for what I needed to do, it does that. And you can also set it up to where you can say, you know, text Cloud9 to join my text club, or you can set up different things where if they text something, they'll get something in return, like text to get our new song for free that no one else has, and you can automatically deliver that song to them through that text. So that's the two companies I'm using right now.
Yeah, I would say that's the move for now. But if anybody watching has a better text marketing platform, let me know. I'd love to dive into it and see what you guys are working with.
I'm pretty sure Community's price point to start off is $100 a month. But I did recently have a call with a rep from Community, and I know they're focusing on transitioning that platform for more B2B focus and less with musicians.
So they're making that move too, huh? They're seeing,
Yeah.
It's tough. I think that one of the problems is the cell phone carriers. I know that there's a lot of issues and that I don't think that the artist market is worth dealing with those issues just from a financial standpoint. So I think that's why even Superphone made that pivot. They still, you can still use Superphone, but they definitely wanted to go more B2B as well. So
when him and I connected, he was actually leaving. It was his last day at Community. He was going back to the label system because of that factor.
Yeah. So hopefully that was semi helpful, Bear.
Yeah, for sure. And then I just have one more question. I know back in the day, you had talked about, like, when you went on tour, there was a lot of promoters that helped you out. But I was wondering if you actually personally contacted venues yourself, and if you did, like, what was the response back time? Because, like, I've contacted venues, sent them the profile of Damien, all the acclimates, all that, just to, like, so I didn't have to go through 2 more emails, and I haven't heard anything back. So I'm like, maybe it's because I don't like them, it's not their style, but I'm like, I don't know. So, like, when's like the response time?
So I never contacted just like venues, it was always promoters. So we had built up enough of a buzz online, and then we announced that we were going on tour, and then some promoters hit us up, and then to kind of fill in the gaps and make the routing make sense, I was a bit more proactive at reaching out to promoters. Like, if I didn't know anybody in the city, I would know somebody that knows somebody, or a current promoter that we were working with would put me into. All these promoters know each other, and they typically know each other in neighboring cities as well. So, asking a promoter that you're doing a show with, hey, do you know some promoters in the next city over? That could be a way to find, who's reliable in that city. So it's a lot of that. So it's been a while since I've done that. We are actually doing a comedy tour, but we're going to be touring like actual movie theaters. So I reached out to AMC, Cinemark, to see if I can, how much it would cost to rent out movie theaters. So when we do a comedy tour, we're going to be doing, movie theaters, because part of the stand-up act, we play sketches in between. So the sketches will appear on the screen. So we need a venue with a screen. So it just made sense for it to be a movie theater. So that's how we're going to do that.
And there, awesome. You guys are killing it with Damien.
Thank you. We're trying.
Keep at it. Keep grinding. Keep grinding it out. Are you out here in LA too?
Yep. We're out here. We're all out here.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Yep. All right. Well, appreciate you tapping in. So if you know any
promoters, I know I have all of your guys' Instagram, so, like, just tap in with me on Instagram, and let me know. Like, trying to make connections out here as well. So.
Well, let me ask you this: where do you feel like your strongest city is, and how many people do you think would come to the show?
So our top 5 cities right now are Minneapolis, New York City, and Texas. So, and it was Dallas and Houston. So, like, those are our top. And I don't know, we've done one show before. So we did a show in our hometown, and we had probably 300 show up to our hometown show in our venue. So I don't know, like, I don't know, like, a rough estimate. What I'm looking for in a venue is under 300. So, like, I don't want to like
Right.
1,000-person venue. So like those are like the numbers. So like maybe 150 to 300 people showing up.
Got you. So and then but when you talk to these promoters, because they're gonna want to, want to know like how many people that ideally they would want some touring history to say how many people have you, and you got one show under your belt, but they just want some comfort level that they're gonna make money on the show, and if
Right.
not, are you guys prepared to just rent out the venue, take all the risk yourself? Is that a structure, or do you guys want a promoter to kind of go in with you and promote the show?
So we were looking to do it all ourselves like that. I've already reached out to some venues, but like I said, the response time isn't there. So like we were gonna go that route just for just like a little 5-city tour to our top cities. That's what we were looking for, and we've budgeted to like our allocated funds for that. So
I would also we had the founder of Gigwell on an MEC probably 2 years ago now. And basically, I'm not sure, because businesses evolve, but just like we talked about, community is more B2B and thing. So, but I believe they still do the same thing where Gigwell will have kind of a database of venues, and you'll be able to filter them and get all the contact information. So check out Gigwell. It might be a solution to some of your issues, because there's a lot of venues out there, and I would imagine people are trying to get people in the doors because of
right.
all of the missed revenue from the past few years. So yeah, check out Gigwell. That might be a solution.
Yeah, awesome. All right, thank you guys. That really helped out. I took some notes. Appreciate it.
All good. Cool. All right, we got some other people. I'm gonna bring two other folks, Cloud9 and Shane, if you don't mind, man. I'm gonna remove you guys, but I appreciate you tapping in as always. You guys are some of the most loyal of the MEC fam, and I appreciate it every week. You guys tuning in. I'm gonna grab some more folks, man. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Dame, thank you. Real quick, can you just share it? I'm trying to share the application link, but it's deleting it for some reason on Twitch. I just put it in the private chat here. For the
what is it? Okay, so this is the
link tree one.
The link tree.
Yep.
Okay.
That in the chat.
Program. Boom.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Dame.
Bam. There it is. Cool. All right, we got Legendary the Poet. What's going on, big dog? You're muted right now. You need to.
Dang. Yeah,
What's up?
I was muting. I was just trying. I was in the chat waiting, so I wanted to respect the space. Bro, first of all, let me tell you, thank you. I feel like I know you, but I know I don't. But just because I mean, you all, that's the thing about, I know you always talk about building community, and I mean, y'all, of course, BeatStars, MEC, you personally do a great job of that. And man, I've learned so much game from you, over the past like 2 years, bro. I would be remiss if I didn't thank you.
I appreciate hearing that, because that's what keeps us invested in what we're doing, man, because we don't make a ton of money from this, and that was never the point. But as long as people are getting value from these conversations, we'll continue to do it. But I feel you in because on the social media world is crazy. I have a bunch of friends that have kids now, right? And just through watching the kids on social media, I feel like I know the kids. But when I actually meet them in person, the kids look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, no, I've seen your games, I've seen your birthdays, I've seen, I feel you that social media does that.
Facts. Yeah, man, definitely. And at the same time too, some of the things you said, like as an artist, I'm an artist and a songwriter, recording engineer. And so like me and Levi are like really good friends. Actually, I was friends with Levi like 2 years before he ever really started working with BeatStars.
Dope.
And yeah, that's my dog. Like we talk on the phone and stuff all the time. So yeah, my daughter know him personally, like everything. So we cool. And one of the things I really appreciate too is like how you talk about for artists. Like a lot of times, like even the person who was just talking, as an artist, you still are a professional if you choose to be. And in this game, like you talk about that all the time. And I feel like just being professional across the board can be a lost art, and people just don't understand, how invaluable or how valuable, that is a skill set is, like being on time to the session, or like when you're interviewing people, like, yo, be on time, fam.
Yeah,
Be
crucial.
prepared. Yeah.
It's crucial.
So I don't want to take too much time, so I can talk to you for, forever about a lot of stuff, but I did want
go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, I did want to ask you about the affiliate program. Like I saw, me personally, even from I run a record label, Stay Elevated Productions, and so I have a lot of like producers that I work with and stuff. They want me to sign them or be affiliated with the label, and I always tell them, being a one-man band, I have a team, but my team is different in different places, and so when it comes to marketing and branding, I'm always pushing people to BeatStars because the ecosystem is, like, again, invaluable. It's like all the things you need to efficiently run a business are on BeatStars. So that's why I'm interested in the affiliate program and just understanding how to make it work. Because for me, even in managing them, it would be super helpful to build them a site on BeatStars and get them into the ecosystem. So
right. I don't know anything about BeatStars affiliate system. So they have an affiliate program where if for people to sign up to BeatStars. I mean, they probably do.
So
I
it was
just
probably
I just don't know. My bad. I mean, I probably should know,
it was
but I don't.
Look, it was like 3 or 4 months ago, and I think it was Abe. I'm not sure, but I remember somebody, mentioning the affiliate program, and so I was just like, oh, okay. And I took in the nugget at that time, but it, again, it was like almost a mention amidst some other things that they were talking about, and so I never really went back and looked it out.
So Cloud9, he chimed in the chat right here. He says you can contact Carly at BeatStars. So Cloud9 is always tapped in. So if there's a Carly, I'm not sure if it's Carly at beatstars.com, but I would imagine if it's public, the information about the affiliate program would just be on their site.
Yes,
I don't know if it's beatstars.com or beatstars.world. But I'll ask Abe about that. I'm not familiar, but yeah, I mean, I'm cool with affiliate programs as long as where you're sending people is something quality, and of course, BeatStars is a quality community. So that's dope. Where are you based out of?
I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, you're in Atlanta? Okay, dope.
Yeah,
dope.
Yeah. So when you had Scotty on here, I actually got my grill from Scotty ATL. So like when you had him, yeah, Diamond Dust.
I got one like when he was first starting out, I got a grill from him that never fit right. That shit was terrible. I think I only wore it one time. I'm not bashing his business because I'm sure he stepped his game up and it looks like you bright and shining and everything comfortable. But again, that's the evolve. You evolve as a business. Right. No matter what you are, you got to evolve, get better every single day, as an artist or as a business selling grills, beats, whatever you're selling, we start and we just evolve and get better.
Facts. Yeah, no, I mean that's just the reality of it.
Yeah, indeed. So there's another cat chimed in. It says Carly. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Maybe it's Roe, or I'm assuming it's Roe or Rue. Is the head of the initiative for the influencer program. So reach out to her. He said, Dame, I have the link for the BeatStars affiliate program. Let me know if I can. Yeah, share it in the chat. Yeah, share it. So people, I'm assuming BeatStars would love that. I just wasn't familiar, so I'll have to tap in and get more info on it. Anything else? We good? I'm gonna I think we have one more, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Anything else?
Nah, man, just I appreciate you. Congrats on getting married, bro. It's a beautiful experience, fam. And I know just how well versed you are as a king. You're gonna do well. She gonna treat you right. You're gonna treat her right, bro. And for everybody out here too, I mean, definitely tap in with BeatStars and people like Dame, man. Get them their props because, like he said, they're not making a whole bunch of bread. It's just the heart of, I'm sure him when he was going through his grind and up and coming. just knowing that like people need this information. So
I wish I had somebody to reach out to at when we was coming up. Yeah, that's why we do this. You hit it right on the head. Like I know that I understand the value.
I get it, bro. Like I mean, I'm forever grateful to you, bro. So yeah, man. Hey, yo, stay elevated.
Well,
man.
I appreciate you tapping in. When we get back on the road, you know, because we're gonna do the MEC tour this year. I'm not sure what cities we're gonna hit, but if when we come to Atlanta, I hope to meet you in person. But I think I told Abe the other day, because hopefully BeatStars is involved in the MEC tour. I think they're going to be. I believe I'm pitching for it to be less cities but bigger events. So we might do one in Austin where Abe is at, and then maybe Denver, because Denver has such a thriving like independent artist community. There's a lot of support there. But I'll keep you guys posted. But legendary, man, appreciate you tapping in. I'm gonna take DJ Sean, and then we're gonna close this out.
All right, tap in. I'm gonna get in tune with you on the back channels, bro, so we can link up some music. I would love to be one of the artists selected this year for the program that you do, where you have artists come in and be on the album, bro. I'm dope, bro.
1 week notice. Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out too, man. I'm trying to figure out how to make that bigger and better this year. So all right, bro. Peace. All right, we're gonna end it with DJ Sean J, and then yeah. So what up, Sean? Oh, I can't hear you either. I think you might be on mute, or you're not on mute, but I think there's just might have. Yeah, it's not working. I'm not hearing you. Let's see if it's me. If type in the chat if you guys can hear Sean or not. I don't think you guys are able to. It might have had the same issue that we had with Vovon earlier. Man, you got all that equipment in that room too. All that equipment, I can't hear you. Damn, they saying they can't hear. Damn it. Maybe just type in the comments. If you can quickly type your question, we can just address it really quick. And if anybody else has a question, you know, just type it in the comments. I'll try to get to it. And that'll give Sean some time to type his question, and then we can wrap it up. Let's see. Bufo said you can't hear him. Yep. Nah, he got all that equipment in the room too. Damn it. All right. If anybody else has a question, you can type it in the comments as Sean's typing his question. But I appreciate people tapping in today. We're probably going to have to do this more often because, you know, like I said, we used to do this at least like once a month, where we would have more of a collective MEC session where people can chime in and we can talk about different issues. But I do have a lot of really dope guests lined up too, that I think you guys are going to really enjoy their sessions. Bufo is asking about my wedding. What are you hoping for as a wedding gift? Man, a wedding is enough. And if anybody gets me a gift, it's appreciated, but I'm happy. So, you know, gifts aren't necessary. Let's see. I guess nobody else has a question. I'm still waiting for. Oh, he typed it in the private chat. Okay, hold on. I've been trying to get into the placement game for a minute. I understand there are libraries that don't allow their artists to be associated with a PRO. That's weird. Is there a benefit to this business model? I don't know if I've ever so you're not allowed to be associated with a PRO? That doesn't make any sense to me. That would I'm almost goes as far as to saying it's a red flag. Like, you got to be associated with a PRO. That doesn't seem like it makes sense to me. And I've never ran into a company, a company that does placements for artists that had that as a requirement. You know, you definitely always want to register your songs. You know, especially if it's a placement on like television or something where the music's played publicly, so you can collect the publishing from that. So you wouldn't be able to do that if you weren't signed up with a PRO. So Cloud9 once again chimed in. He said,
"Is it working a little bit now? There we go. I had to switch sound cards. Sorry about that. I'm over here training my dog while I'm trying to talk to you. So yeah, at the beginning, I was going to say I appreciate you so much because what you guys have been doing with the MEC, this has become a part of my week. As you can see, I got my puppy in here training the dog because I got a baby on the way. I'm trying to get into Thank you. I'm trying to get into the publishing world, and I've been a DJ for 16 years, just trying to go full force with this so I can stay at home with the baby and not be on the road so much. But back to the
Nice.
question. There's a library whose name I'm going to leave out of this because I know there might be some people associated with it. It's rather large, and they have a good following of people that are aware of their brand because of YouTube partnerships. Settle.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that when you register with the PRO, I'm not currently, but when you register with the PRO, you're registering your government name with that. Is there a benefit to associating yourself with a library such as this particular library? I'm sure the chat can figure it out. And not sign with a PRO for the purposes of upfront fees? Or is it a possibility to register with a PRO under one, I guess, creative name and then have a second registration with a PRO that is under a different creative name? So let's say like DJ Sean J and then an alias. So one would be with one agency, one would be with another library, if that makes sense.
No, that still doesn't make sense to me. And Cloud9, I guess it doesn't make sense to Cloud9 either. He says that company be driving me because I've had artists ask me that same question because they're always marketing their brand. He said avoid this, avoid at all costs. Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. You want to definitely register with a PRO. You definitely want to register with a pub admin. That shouldn't stop you from getting placements like that. Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than that sounds.
That's the feeling I had. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something because I'm new to this side of the space. So I appreciate that insight from the chat and from yourself, Dame.
If you can, DM me the link to whoever this is so I could dive a little bit more into it. And
no problem. I can definitely do that.
For sure. All right, man. Well, yeah, it sounds like you are an artist. You are just trying to live life at the same time, make things happen. So you got the baby on the way, you got the dog. When that baby comes, you definitely gonna have to lock that door with all that equipment.
Oh yeah. This is step one. Step two is to be upstairs all day.
Well, congrats, man. I appreciate you tapping in. Where are you from?
Baltimore, Maryland, USA. Be more stand up.
Okay, indeed. All right, well, I'm gonna close it out with that. I appreciate you guys tapping in. Again, we're gonna do this more often. Maybe after I'm booked all the way through, I think March or early April with guests. But after that, we'll do more sessions where we take questions because I think, or maybe we do it on a different day, a whole different day, and that's what that's for. So I'll think about it. I'll see what my schedule allows. But again, thanks for tapping in, Sean. It was very nice meeting you.
Pleasure's all mine.
Have a great week, everybody. Kill it. Get some wins, and I'll see y'all next week. Peace.